Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Cosmic Culture, the channel where we talk all things major movie and television news, theories, breakdowns, and much, much more. I, of course, am your host, Chris, and if you were to go back in time 15 years and tell a younger version of me that we were going to have an opportunity to see Spider-Man No Way Home that had 3 different Peter Parkers from 3 different universes joining forces to fight a bunch of different bad guys also from those different universes, I would have lost my mind, and I probably would not have believed you. But here we are in 2022, following the events of Spider-Man No Way Home, and it was one of the biggest movies of all time. An absolute cinematic event. And if you were to tell me now that we would have an even bigger Spider-Man event happening, I would just have to believe you, I suppose, which is kind of the topic of today's video. There's not one, not two, but several rumors coming from several different inside sources that say we haven't had the last of our Spidey fun just yet. We're going to be talking about Andrew and Tobey both coming back to the MCU for another massive Marvel project. If you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our other major movie and television news happening daily here on the channel. You can also follow me on my other socials, Instagram at Chris M. Rosser and Twitter at TheCultureChris. Links to both of these are in the description down below. So, yes, you heard me right, and yes, I know we all love Spider-Man No Way Home. I think it was the perfect amount of nostalgia and just insane MCU collaborative fun. So, hopefully, with that being said, you find this news very appealing. Let's talk about the fact that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield should be returning to the MCU, and there are even rumors that they have already signed the contracts to do so for Secret Wars. Now, this makes perfect sense and is something of a no-brainer, which makes these rumors probably lose a little bit of merit, but at the same time, gain a little bit of merit. It's like, yeah, this is kind of an easy thing to guess, so are these rumors actually an inside source versus, well, yeah, obviously that's going to happen. This makes perfect sense. It's very likely true. Regardless of that or how you feel about these rumors and inside sources, people like Daniel RPK, My Time to Shine Hello, who are very well known and very accurate Twitter scoopers with Patreons and different accounts. And then you have bigger sources like Deadline or The Hollywood Reporter also talking about this. And then, of course, there's the YouTubers. All sorts of different people talking about Andrew and Tobey returning to the MCU. And then on top of that, there's the rumors that Andrew will be playing Spider-Man in the Sony Spider-Man universe of confusion and disappointment, which hopefully will be a good thing, and following the events of Morbius definitely is something that people are a little weary about, but hopefully we'll be getting the Amazing Spider-Man 3, which we can talk about in a second, but I want to continue to talk about more Spider-Verse stuff. So it makes perfect sense. Let's follow the narrative. What we know about Secret Wars is that there's going to be a massive incursion, right? So let's just, based off of the comics, based off of the rumors we've heard for the MCU, here's the assumption. Massive incursion happens, and in the comics, actually, the entirety of Secret Wars Battle World is one huge incursion happens that causes every single multiverse to become one universe. The ruler of this is actually God Emperor Doom, who is Doom in the white, and you've probably seen different versions of this or comics like this one, where God Emperor Doom has Thanos' entire skeleton and skull that he rips out of him, and he's a very, very, very powerful character. Now, what Marvel wants us to think is that Kang will be the ruler, but I think that there's definitely some underlying Doom secrets that will be coming out, and we're actually going to get a Doom versus Kang scene, and Doom might actually come out on top and end up taking over Battleworld or Secret Wars, or however Marvel chooses to do it. It will vary from the comics. They very rarely go shot for shot from what happens in the comics, just for certain moments that they like to do that. During that time, all of the multiverses in one plane, in one world, and based off of that, we know we'll have different variants, different versions of characters, lots of different versions of characters, many different Iron Mans, Captain Americas, the Fantastic Four. We'll still have our main characters, hopefully, and many of them will still be prevalent and kind of center stage, but there will be variants. And it's very, very likely, and this is the rumor that we're talking about today, that we will see Andrew and Tobey Maguire returning for Secret Wars. Now, they won't be the main characters, but they will be the characters that we're most excited to see. But during this time, it's also possible that we're going to be seeing X-Men characters from the Fox universe or Fantastic Four characters from previous movies. There have been 2 movies that have come out within the last 20 years, just like with the Spider-Man movies. All characters we can pull from. The X-Men, all characters we can pull from. The Sonyverse, all characters we can pull from different multiverses, from different universes, living in one plane for Secret Wars. Now, this is something that should have us excited, but also should have us a little bit intimidated. That's a big thing to pull off. And Marvel's trying to do it in a span of very few years. The Infinity Saga lasted over, 10, 13 years total by the time we got through with all of the projects and all the information. We're running through the entirety of Phase 6, the Multiverse Saga, in a very small number of years. We'll be out within 5, maybe 6 tops, depending on how delays or different projects that get added in might affect the timeline. So you're trying to do something that, in my opinion, is much, much bigger than the Infinity Saga in a much shorter amount of time. But also keep in mind that Marvel's dropping more than 3 times the amount of projects. We were going from 2, maybe 3 movies a year. Now we're getting 4 movies a year, plus 4, maybe 5 different Disney Plus projects, including the shorts and everything. So a lot more information is coming at us at a much faster pace, which definitely can dilute the excitement. So I hope that you guys are still really, really up for everything that is coming, including our Spider-Man sharing more time on screen. Now, this is something that recently fans have been talking about at length, because during the Spider-Man No Way Home More Fun Stuff version that had all sorts of extra clips added in it, one of the things that was added was 3 to 4 minutes of dialogue between the Spider-Man just standing there having a conversation, talking about, the web blood and different moments, which I think coming out of Spider-Man No Way Home was all of our favorite. Seeing the 3 Spider-Men in the lab together trying to figure out how they can cure all the villains, and seeing the 3 Spider-Men before the big fight having a conversation, talking about their lives and how it was different and what villains they fought, and Spider-Man saying, or I guess Andrew's Spider-Man saying, I want to fight an alien. That was the best part of the movie. So the opportunity to see that again, to see them regrouping, catching up, and building each other's confidence up again for the fight that is most definitely up ahead of them, will be something that I know everybody's going to have an absolute blast with. With that being said, we're also maybe going to get to hear about Andrew having fought some aliens, or he'll get to fight some aliens as the multiverse has collapsed into one level plane, and a lot of fun opportunities that lie ahead from this potentially happening. Also, keep in mind that could mean a variant of Robert Downey Jr. returning, Iron Man, different versions of Iron Man showing up, Tom Cruise potentially, Leonardo DiCaprio showing up as a Spider-Man, or John Krasinski showing up as a Captain America. The options are literally limitless when you're talking about multiversal issues and multiversal problems. So any cool comparison or connection or collection of any character played by any actor you can think of, there's a possibility for it, and I would bet we're probably even going to get to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine return for a very short scene, just to have him cemented in the MCU. I would love to see that happen, and I really do hope that as we're pushing towards Secret Wars, which is going to be a massive Avengers saga, that we're going to be able to have the build-up be exciting and not be rushed and not be diluted by how many projects we're getting and the different types of projects that we're getting. She-Hulk's a comedy, and Moon Knight's a very serious, kind of dark tone, and it is building in a very intense way, and hopefully we can all appreciate and enjoy that. But let me know what you think about this. If you haven't heard it already, what do you think? And if you have heard it already, what have you heard? Are you pretty sure that this is something that's going to happen? Or are you still a little bit unsure if these rumors are going to end up being true? Let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section down below. As always, thank you to everybody who watched to the very end of the video. If you found it helpful, useful, or entertaining, consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell. And I'll be sure to catch all of you guys in the next one right here on Cosmic Culture.